As I was listening and watching this whole thing play out, I was glad that Dawn Staley is in the position that she's in, and that Angel Reese, because we never heard players actually be able to stand up. And let's be clear, Angel Reese is playing for a whole ass racist, and still somehow has found her voice. But but again, we go through these. To be Black in America is a complicated thing. Many of us are working with people, for people who are absolute outward enemies of our existence. And we show up, we smile, we do the things we need to do. We got to take care of our family and our coin. And we also know that there's a bigger picture. We've always navigated these two places. They called it double consciousness, right? That was what it was called, right? Double consciousness is what we are navigating on a regular basis. But now we need to have singular consciousness, which is rooted in humanity. No more double consciousness. Show up as your full self, like Angel Reese and like the South Carolina team and Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley don't give a damn. I'm gonna wear somebody else's name, not South Carolina. I'm gonna put Cheney State. I'm gonna wear during a tournament. I'm wearing a Cheney State sweatshirt. Yes, I'm going to do that. And because it means something to be Black in this space at this time. A Black woman, to your point, 866-801-8255. I'm gonna play Jay Williams because Keith Olbermann has some things to say, and I like him sometimes I don't. He's like what's that candy bar? Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Sometimes he acts like a nut, sometimes he doesn't. Keith Olbermann's a broken clock. Sometimes he's right, sometimes he's definitely. I like his active advocacy for pets, for dogs in particular. But on this one,
does he care about Black women? Does he care about Black women?
No, he does not.
But look what he said. You're going to play it, right?
I'm not going to play what he said because I don't want to give rise to it. I'm going to play Jay Williams calling him to task. That's what I'm because I like Jay Williams. He went to Duke. He should
Jersey boy.
Yes, Jersey boy, lost his career on a motorcycle. But as a commentator, he's holding his own with everybody. And I like that he doesn't back down because he doesn't have to, anyway. Let's play Jay Williams, Smith.
Trash talking is okay, people. Like we see it with Patrick Beverley and Austin Reeves, and we applaud it. We see it with the way Russell Westbrook is being guarded in the playoffs, where people sit in the lane and they don't guard them. Yeah, we saw that with Caitlin Clark against South Carolina, going against Raven Johnson, wiping away the hands. We've seen Caitlin Clark with the John Cena hand. Now you don't see me, now you don't. It's part of the game. The thing that bothered me last night is that while Angel Reese is doing it towards the end of the game, we have a certain section of people that then want to come out and call people like Angel Reese, who is 20 years old. Now, think about this. The narrative that's been following this team all year long, right, has been they're ghetto, they're thugs. Think about what you heard Dawn Staley talk about the other day. She literally made a comment about it. It went viral. We're not head coach of South Carolina, okay, after the loss. We're not bar fighters. We're not thugs. We're not monkeys. We're not street fighters. And today I'm pissed off because instead of congratulating and celebrating LSU, we're talking about elements of race and double standards. So when Caitlin Clark is doing all this, she has swag. She's a competitor. She's lost in the juices. This is what we love. But when Angel Reese does it, and was it maybe a tad bit excessive?
No.
If she had been called a T? Sure, if the refs wanted to call her a T at the end of the game for trash talking because she followed Caitlin Clark around. But these are the same things that motivates young people in sports. And we applaud it in other directions, but now we want to apply race towards it, or we want to apply, look at her, she's a classless piece of. That's what Dave Portnoy said. I'm putting names on it. Keith Olbermann called her a blanking idiot on Twitter. What are we doing? Why are we taking it to that level? If you want to criticize it and say Smith, call a tech, fine.
Yes. What are we doing, Kevin Powell? What are we doing?
I challenge people out there. Google, type in these words, Larry Bird trash talking, and you will see so much stuff come up about how much of a trash talker Larry Bird was, but no one had anything to say. But if a Black player did it, Angel Reese, fast forward, it's a problem. Caitlin Clark clearly is a gifted player. No one's taking that away from her. It ain't taken away from Larry Bird. But if you can't see that there's a racial double standard, like Jay Williams just said, I don't know what to say. Listen, I grew up on Keith Olbermann as well, but unfortunately, some kinds of white men, didn't say all white men, but certain kinds of white men will show their white maleness when they don't like something that a Black person does or says. I remember how certain, like Joe Buck is revered as a great sportscaster. Randy Moss, like many players of the hip hop era, this ain't the era of Joe Louis. This ain't the era of Jesse Owens. Since we need to go from Muhammad Ali on, Black athletes, both women and men, all gender identities have said, not only can I play basketball, can I run, can I do all these things, but I'm actually going to let you know how good I am. Because what Muhammad Ali was giving us permission to do was say not only that I am the greatest, but you're not going to silence me anymore. And I'm not just going to fit into this little box of being Jackie Robinson. And I love Jackie Robinson. We know what he represents to the history of our people and to this country. But I also believe him being silent and not expressing himself also contributed to him dying so early and going great so prematurely because he had to stuff all of that in. And so in our community, we express how we feel. I'm this, I'm that. That's the essence of hip hop. And, we need to understand from Georgetown in the 1980s to LSU in South Carolina in the 2020s, you probably have 3 or 4 generations of people wrapped into the 50 years of hip hop that we're celebrating now, which means they have watched Lauryn Hill, Latifah, Salt and Pepper, Yo-Yo, Chuck D and Public Enemy, KRS-One, Ice Cube, NWA, and you better believe all that energy that had came out of hip hop is in sports. You can't separate the two. And so what I saw was someone who was unapologetically Black, unapologetically Black, Angel Reese, and also someone who's unapologetically hip hop saying, you know what, we got this ring. How you like us now?
Yes. I know you played. I wasn't very good, but what I was good at was talking people out of their game and making them so mad that they want to swing on me, but then think twice because I'm big as hell. And so that's a tactic. Trash talking is part of the game, and you're going to figure it out. And you're going to learn today, and don't let me get off on you, because then you'll never I'm that way on the card table. Any place I go, if I beat you, you're going to hear about it. As my father would say, if you don't want to hear my mouth, beat me.